what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Soul Master's Day, judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone beseech for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none deserve to be served, worship to praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is that true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. We have Brother Mustafa and Sister Sharice Ali from Ohio. We have Brother Salim Shabazz from Atlanta. And we have Brother Minister Kareem Allah from Pennsylvania. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. Today we like to talk about modesty and the black Muslim woman. First, we always got to start with the message. This comes from the June 11, 1963 Sun Telegraph. And it says, black Muslim goal is state of their own with nothing to do with the white race. This was the message. Because the one thing about the messenger that's different from everybody else is the messenger challenged everybody's ideas when they was new and fresh. The fresh new idea with the white man was integration. Everybody thought, oh, this what's going to work for the black man. We integrate our schools, integrate the lunch counters. That's what's going to help us get what we need. But the messenger was the one who challenged the devil's new ideas toe to toe. He says the black Muslims' goal is a state of their own with nothing to do with the white race. All praise is due to Allah. Coming at the white man head on. Then we have another one with the message. It says this has come from the October 11th, 1968, Muhammad Speaks. It says U.S. seeks law to exterminate blacks. It has birth control, death of a nation. It says kill the black babies and save the white. Orders by the father Yaqub to kill to the white race, kill, kill, kill. Because with the black man, this was another new idea from the white man that we thought was something good. So this is the messenger on the front page, because another thing about the messenger is he also dealt with women's issues. Nobody during the civil rights movement was talking about the black woman, but the messenger. He was dealing with these issues, these new ideas that the white man was presenting to black people as good ideas and progressive ideas for the black man to move further and ahead with birth control. Everybody thought this was a good plan, but the messenger challenging the white man's ideas head on. Then we got another. It's to my dear people, to my beloved people, warning. And this was something challenging the miniskirt. Another new idea from the white man. And this is what makes the messenger different from all the people who challenge him. They done saw the messenger's program successful. All of the people who talk about the messenger in this generation, calling him Elijah Poole and our God ain't the true and living God, they was not around to challenge these ideas because the messenger had no other alternative but Allah and what he taught. Because the white man's ideas, most black people supported. Most black people supported integration. They criticized the messenger when he was talking about buy black. That was something like knowledge of self. For black people to study their history, and that's why I like to study the history. Because when you look at the messenger today, the way people accept all of this black, you would never think that black people criticize the messenger for teaching us or the slogan, knowledge of self. Black people used to make fun of the messenger to tell us that we should study our history. That was something that they made, but now, knowledge of self. We need to, even talking about uniting from all black people, you need to unite under one banner. That sounded crazy to black people. But the messenger, once again, challenging the white man's ideas head on. So let's go to another. Be yourself. This one of the big ones. This is what the messenger, be yourself. The messenger is the one who taught us to love your black self. Do for black self. Get knowledge to help black self. This was something that was funny to the average black man talking about be yourself. Last but not least, the rise of black America. All of this was ideas that the messenger was challenging the white man. But the thing about the messenger that's different from everybody else, he included the black woman. This says Muslim woman plays important role. This is something that makes the messenger different from everybody else. Because we don't talk about the sisters a lot, but the sisters play an important role in the Nation of Islam. Yeah. This is the March-April 1961, Muhammad speaks. It says Muslims score at Southern universities. Then it says separation, not integration. Independence, not subservience. A land of our own, not squatters' rights. These are the hopes of my people during 1961. Now, what I like about this Muhammad Speaks newspaper is they was talking about all the economic gains that Muslims had in 1960. So this was one talking about sisters. This has a sister, a dark-skinned black chocolate sister at the bottom. Not saying that it matters, dark skin or light skin. But during the 1960s, especially the early 60s, the black man was being criticized for his color. The white man got us to hate our color. So the messenger used to have sisters with no makeup talking about black beauty. Praise due to Allah. This was something that the messenger was talking about because the black man was talking about being a Negro. But the messenger taught us to love yourself. So this sister at the bottom, it says Muslim sister flashes smile, revealing beauty and dignity of our people. Then this is another picture of a sister at the top. It says dress in attractive Muslim garb. A Boston Muslim recreates a moment of suffering during the enslavement of the black man. Then this is another picture. It says devout Muslim women entering Boston Temple for worship and prayer. So then the article goes on. This one talking about, it says Muslim enjoy year of unprecedented economic growth. This got a Muslim sister and her business. This is something that we wasn't seeing, especially in the 60s. Sisters owning their own business. It says Sister Betty Pasha examines dress in her shop at 1411 H Street, Northeast Washington, D.C. The dress was designed by Ms. D. Lois, a Washington designer and artist. So this is an example of the messenger challenging the white man's ideas head on. The messenger first taught us that we want to have our own independent nation with nothing to do with the white race.
Yes, sir.
Then he's showing us the economic growth of the Nation of Islam. And he got sisters with businesses too. All praise is due to Allah. Now let's read what it says. It says, like a flood tide of liberation, Mr. Muhammad's gospel of economic independence sweeps over America during 1960. The New York Temple opened its new glittering restaurant with telling scenes of African splendor. In Connecticut, Shabazz restaurant, owned and operated by Muslims, made their entry. Moving a bit south, Baltimore and Washington, Muslims proclaimed a banner year as their business efforts flourished. The same reports came from Detroit, Cleveland, and Chicago. In the South, the Muslims broke the stranglehold on the fish business by opening a large fish market and instituting a trucking line that brings fresh seafood into Atlanta from an eastern seaport at Savannah. These economic strides are in keeping with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that his followers should, as far as possible, achieve economic independence for themselves and for their fellow black men. Despite clandestine opposition from certain groups that label this economic growth as a buy black movement. Imagine that, being criticized as a buy black movement. This was the message in 1960, showing the black man that we need to do for self. First, starting off with his followers. We need to do for ourselves and have economic independence from the white man. Brothers and sisters. Brothers got their businesses, sisters got their businesses too. So the messenger has another example of a sister with another dress shop. This says, Yasmin's dress shop, owned and operated by Muslims, provides clothing for many of Boston's best families. Another sister with a business. The messenger was not only telling the sisters to be modest, but he had sisters owning their own businesses, designing their own clothes, with lost found sisters also sometimes designing the dresses. This was the message. Challenging the white man's ideas head on.
Yes, sir.
With the guidance from Almighty God Allah, Master Farad Muhammad. Because the thing about the white man is the white man always had the black man's attention. He always was the one who told us how to think and what we should do. The messenger said the black man has been robbed completely of the knowledge of self. So when the white man saw that the black man started wanting something for himself, he started introducing more and more mini skirts. He was introducing more and more about birth control. He was introducing more and more about integration. These were things that the messenger spoke totally against. So with the messenger's economic success, this was one of my favorites from Atlanta. It says Atlanta Muslims score huge economic success. It says the rising tide of Islam in the Deep South was demonstrated when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad defied the Ku Klux Klan and invaded Atlanta last year. In the same spirit, Atlanta Muslims enjoy a year of ever-expanding development during 1960. The Atlanta Muslims entered every major avenue of business and set a new mark by opening the South's most fabulous poultry market. The following pictures sequence is the story of their achievements. Now, I wish we had time to go through it all, but they were showing how the Muslims in Atlanta, with sisters too, the Muslims in Atlanta, after the messenger defied the Ku Klux Klan, they went into every economic arena that they could go into and was successful. It's showing fish markets, supermarkets, restaurants, all praise is due to Allah, with sisters too. So this was the messenger not only telling us that the black woman should be, because the thing about these teachings is once the messenger took something away from us, he added something. It wasn't like we just all of this list of things we can't do. Because that's what most people think. When they talk about sisters covering up, they think that that's taking something away from the sister dressing mops. They don't understand all of the respect that the sister get from being mops. Praise due to Allah. They don't understand the respect the sister get. Like for an example, you dressing mops. People begin to respect. Where did you get that from? I made this garment. This is something. Oh, where could I find that at? You can get this garment online. I sell them at such and such and so and so. That's what they don't tell you about the different things the messenger introduced from being mops. That creates a business for the sister. Yeah. Because the messenger taught us that opposites attract. That's how Yaqub built his world, from opposites attract. Yeah. That's what attracts the people. Most people are used to seeing sisters in miniskirts. Now let's talk about this article to give an example of what I'm talking about. This is called Black Universal Rise. This comes from the June 27, 1969, Muhammad Speaks. And in this article, the article is called New York Black Co-eds Quit Miniskirts, Discover New Dignity in Modest Attire. And what I like about this article is the sisters develop a like for wearing modest clothes from a brother who was a Muslim going to their college, just giving them a challenge. They was looking at him or seeing this brother and saw he was a Muslim. So they start asking him questions about the program of the message. So what he did is he said, the black man has gone as far as we can go by ourselves. He said the black woman needs to help boost the black man. So they said, well, how can we help boost the black man? He said the one thing that you can do is, he said, you can demand respect for yourself from other people. That's what he said. He said, try wearing long garments just one time, he said. That's how he was reeling them in. Just try it one time, he said. So they tried it. Now let's read the article. It says, the co-eds questioned Brother Jerry about the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. 18-year-old Darlene Booth recalled that Brother Jerry explained a lot of Mr. Muhammad's program, and it struck a responsive chord with most of them. She said, he said, the black man has gone just about as far as he could go by himself, and that it is definitely time for the black woman to get behind him and boost him. Miss Booth stated, when we asked him how could we boost our men, he replied that one good way was to let the black man know that you demand respect from all people. He explained that the best way to do this was to lower our garments. He challenged us to try the long dress just once, and so we did, said Miss Booth, a freshman who was born in Kingston, Jamaica in the West Indies. It says, when Brother Jerry challenged the black female college students to wear their garments long, they did not have any long clothes. They were determined to use what they had, and all they had were long lengths of material. So we wrapped the material around us and went outside, said Miss Booth. The other students looked amazed at the attire we were experimenting in. So that's how the brother reeled him in. Yes, sir. Just try it one time. Because that's how the black man can get the black woman to wear modest clothes. Because what black men do, especially in this new school Kevin Samuel's generation, they criticize the sister. Talking about, look at how the sisters, they wearing these half naked and they doing this and doing that. But the brother didn't do that because they was wearing miniskirts. So what he did was he dropped the seed on them. He started with the black man. Hey, the black man done went as far as he can go by himself. Letting the sister know we need your help. Praise do to Allah. He didn't start talking about, look at you in them half naked, put some clothes. No, we done went as far as we can go, sister, by ourselves. We done all we can do. But now we need you to help boost us. So the sister looking like, wow, how can we do that? Put on some long clothes. So the sister tried. Then they found out they liked it. That's the messenger's teaching. Praise be to Allah. The messenger said the black man would love Islam if he knew more about it. Because he said that Islam is the nature of the black man. Messenger said the black man is righteous by nature. Yes. He said, I don't care what you see the black man do. He said the black man in his nature, even if he's slow, he gonna be guided or he gonna be attracted to righteousness. Even if it take him a long time. In our nature, we are attracted to the truth. So it goes on to say, it says, when Brother Jerry challenged the black female college students to wear, it says the change was not accepted immediately by other students. There was an undercurrent of what are they trying to do. Then Ms. Booth and others talked to more Afro-American co-eds, and they tried it too. Later we visit the mosque, said Ms. Booth. That's when we realized that this is it, that this just has to be. So we decided that we'll just have to do it. All praise due to Allah. And this the teachings of the message. Just soft, kind words. Right. This brother didn't have to criticize them sisters and tell them what they need to do. He said, just try this. Try this one time to see how you like it. Not only did they try, they started telling other sisters. Then they say, hey, let's go to the temple. Just from this brother, just tell them, hey, just try it. Yeah. The brothers done went as far as they can go. But with this new school stuff, with the Kevin Samuel stuff, brothers think the way you get to the sisters is through criticize. When the black man ain't where he needs to be. Because the brother didn't say, we already arrived as black men. Because the sister already attracted to this brother when they see he changed. Yes. They see him being a Muslim. They see him being neat. They see him dressing modest. They see him being different. So they ask him, what's up with this? What's up with the Mr. Muhammad stuff? So him, being a follower of the message, soft, kind words. Yes. So the brother got them to come to the temple. So once the sisters came to the temple, then they knew, no, we got to take this further and go get us some material and make us some long garments. Pray due to Allah. So it goes on to say, It says, when asked whether she believed that wearing long garments can eventually become the thing to do among other black students, Miss Booth replied yes. As time goes by, many more black co-eds will adopt the long garment. This I am sure of, she said. It said, do you think that other black girls like to see you and your friends in your long garments? Miss Booth quickly replied, I know they like it. A number of the girls who want to wear their clothes ankle length do not have the money for material at the present time, but will soon be making their own clothes. Now this is an example of the teachings of the message. Yes. Now these sisters already want to do it. They don't know they want to do it. Ain't nobody presenting this to them to do. All they see is mini skirts. But it's all this brother did. One brother just suggests try it. They went to the temple getting garments, getting material, trying to learn how to sew. Just from this one brother at telling all praise due to Allah. Just telling them to try. Yes. That's all he did. He didn't criticize them one time. His job was done. Yeah. Try it if you like. Yeah. Just like how to try it if you like. So it goes on to say, she says, I myself did not know how to sew too well. But since I put on my first long garment, I hurried to learn. Now we make our own clothes the way we want to make them, and at the same time, we save money on every garment. The message. Yes, sir. All the brother did was tell them to try it one time. These sisters came to the temple, buying fabric, learning how to sew, telling other sisters just from this one brother, soft, kind words. Praise due to Allah. So it goes on to say, it says another NYU freshman, Irish Joseph, 19, was born and still lives in Harlem. She says, when I wear my garments long, it makes me realize my true state is to be, and that is to be a woman, and more than just a woman, but a black woman. All this from this one brother asking them to try. And this shows the message. Because she didn't say I'm just a Negro woman. She said more than just a black woman. Because the messenger taught us. He said the black man is the best. Yes. The messenger taught us in our lessons. It says that Master Farad Muhammad says, I can go at the top of a mountain and tell the world that the greatest nation is in the wilderness of North America. The greatest nation. Yes. The black man and black woman. Yes, sir. The black man and black woman, the messenger said, just been in the mud. The messenger said we are the cream of the planet Earth. And when you get cream and you put it in milk, if you shake the cream up in the milk, it don't look like the cream got a chance. But the messenger says once you let it be peace and everything settles, the cream will naturally rise to the top. So the messenger said the black man is the cream of the planet Earth. Yes, sir. When the black man has peace, when the black man has freedom and justice, we will naturally rise to the top. And that's why the white man keep all these vices in the black community. Right. Because he don't want the black man to have peace. So he invites the black man to filth and indecency. Yes. Because the white man won't have peace no matter what he do. His nature is against peace. His nature is against freedom, justice, and equality. So that's why the white man, since he been ruling the black man, the messenger says that the white man writes the Bible in symbolic language to hide the truth from the black man. Because in the Bible, they say that God has a chosen people. And they say these people are chosen because of a covenant made with us. messenger taught us that the black man's nature is to be righteous by nature. He said the black man is the righteous, because the Bible makes it seem like you righteous by things you do. Because the white man, who is the arch deceiver, and the messenger said the great pretender, he know how to do what's right. The messenger said the white man will tell you one word of truth and will follow that one word of truth with 1,000 words of lies.
Yes, sir.
So he said the white man will talk truth with you. He'll say a whole lot of things that are true. But then after you finish talking about that true stuff, he talking about lies. And that's what keeps the black man blind, deaf, and dumb. Because the messenger says his evil suggestions is what the black man listens to. So the white man told our woman to wear miniskirts. So the black man, being blind, deaf, and dumb, the black man don't know that he the cream of the planet Earth. Everything is attracted to the truth. All you got to do, the messenger said, is soft, kind words. That took me a long time to understand what the messenger meant. Because you think when you get the truth, especially when you a young Muslim, you think you just got to tear everybody down.
Yeah.
We ain't supposed to be eating no sweet potatoes and cornbread and all that. Soft, kind words. And I found that that works much better. Read to Allah. I found that with my family. Because I started learning about Islam when I was in the Navy away from home. So I started tearing, you ain't supposed to be eating no cornbread and all of that. Then I started seeing how people wasn't attracted to that. That shoo them away. So once I came back home and actually joined or accepted my own, I just stopped eating that type of stuff around my family. I ain't never criticized them at all about eating. So they say, why you don't eat? Why you don't like to eat? Hit them with that, how to eat to live. Messenger said, then another thing that attracts people is when they see you. They see the change in you. They see how you start to look younger. How your skin starts shining. I work in trash. I remember this devil told me. We had just got done working in trash all day at the landfill, throwing trash in the garbage truck. He said, you the cleanest person I ever seen working in trash.
Yes, sir.
Skin, and I ain't even really, I looked in the mirror, my skin was shining, like I put lotion on my, but I didn't even pay no attention until he said something. You the cleanest person I ever seen working in trash. That's the message.
Yes, sir.
The messenger's teachings will attract if they see you doing. Pray to Allah. So let's go on. So the sister said, she says, I wear my garments long. It makes me realize what my true state is to be. And that is to be a woman. And more than just a woman, but a black woman. I also feel more reserved, more calm, and I respect myself more because I know other people respect me. She says, even the boys respect me more. She continued. They give me a seat now. They ask me, is there anything they can help me with? They used to play a lot. They used to try to sound on us and talk condescendingly about our hair, clothes, and so on. They used to greet us with hello ugly. Now they greet us with assalamu alaikum. This the message. Once again, always got to talk about this fake bus stop Bishop Nathan. They all saw the messenger's program successful because it didn't start off like that. The messenger got positive response after years of criticism. It ain't start off like these sisters was just saying, oh, I like wearing. It was after years of them seeing Muslims because the messenger started out with his poor followers. His poor followers had to do how to eat to live. His poor followers had to be an example of economic independence. His poor Muslim sisters had to be the example in the black community, being criticized for wearing long garments, being criticized for not wearing makeup, being criticized for not wearing afros. But after time, they start seeing the Muslims getting more successful. They start seeing the respectful manner in the way they carry themselves. Because the messenger taught us that the most beautiful thing about our way of life, it's not just eating one meal a day. He said it's our beautiful appearance, the way we practice our way of life. That's the most attractive thing about a Muslim. Yes. The mannerism of them, the politeness, the courtesy, salam alaikum. Because the messenger has the meaning of assalamu alaikum. We all should go find that. I didn't know that it was that much to the greeting. Tell me, I'm talking about blew me away. The messenger talked about how the black man is at peace with himself and with everything around him. So we give the greetings of peace because we actually wish for our brother peace. Praise due to Allah. But he said the white man is not at peace with nobody. When the white man, the Jew, say shalom, he don't wish you peace. That's just him imitating the righteous. So the messenger says that peace is the nature of the black man. So peace, when we practice our natural way of life, people see how at peace we are. And that naturally attract another black man who living in hell. Another black woman who catching hell. All this hell she catching from the black man. But she said as soon as she put on her garment, they greetings to her change. They attitude towards her change. She said they asked her, can we help you? They don't say hello. They say assalam alaikum. That's the message. And that's another thing about the message. The messenger's teachings back when you study this history. Islam used to mean you was conscious. People used to look at Muslims. I read this article one time, another article that blew me away. This person in Los Angeles, he wrote into the Los Angeles Times because they had wrote an article criticizing Muslims. So this person wrote in, and he was like, I don't know what y'all talking about these Muslims, because the people who used to defend the messenger used to always let it be known, I ain't a Muslim, but I see the Muslims. He said, I pass by this brother every day selling papers. He said, a brother always neat. He always sharp. He always polite. He always courteous. He always smile. See, I don't know what y'all talking about, some teaching hate. That brother always nice to me. When I see, he didn't have to write that. But people used to, let's give an example. Because I was going to say this to last, but I want to talk about this. People who defended the messenger, when they saw people criticizing Muslims, you used to have people writing in, angry and upset, when they used to hear people criticizing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, after they saw all the hard work that the messenger was doing to clean up the black man. This is an article from this woman. Her name is Dakota Stanton. She really tried to sue the messenger for saying he was a Muslim, for saying he practiced Islam. Her and her husband actually tried to take the messenger to court. Now let's read the article of this sister who wrote in on Stanton. And this is the one thing that I say about this new school nation of Islam under this hypocrite Louis Farrakhan. Because Louis Farrakhan, let's just talk about him just for a second. This hypocrite be sneak dissing the message. These brothers, I was talking to them online recently. Because when I be sharing the videos of our lecture, most of them be more mad at me for trying to defend the messenger than they do with bus stop and them talking against the messenger. Because Louis Farrakhan, this hypocrite, because this is what they say. They said that back in the day, this is what Louis telling. He said that the FOI was thugs. This is the stuff they telling me. The FOI was thugs. He said that the FOI continuously was beating on their brother. He said that the FOI, when brothers didn't have their paper money, he said that the FOI would jump on you to make you pay for your papers. This is what this hypocrite is spreading to the black man about the messenger. The messenger built the best brotherhood that the black man could ever know. When these sisters saw this FOI, he was courteous and polite to them. Yes. He told them to try the messenger's teachings one time to see if you like. He didn't force them. He didn't make them. He wasn't impolite. He was courteous and polite. And because of his example of a FOI, these lost found sisters on campus started to practice the teachings of the messenger. But let's talk about this sister. This comes from the August 11th, 1964 or 1962 Pittsburgh Carrier. It says, reader answers Dakota Stanton on claims of Muslim religion. It says, an angry writer has attacked singer Dakota Stanton for her suit against Elijah Muhammad over claims that his group misrepresents the Islamic faith. It says, angry. A lost found sister who heard somebody criticizing the messenger and it made her angry. When you read this history, and that's why I always talk about bust stop bishop. When you read this history, lost founds then was more on fire for the messenger than these cream puff Muslims in this new generation. Yes, sir. I'm talking about lost founds on fire for the messenger. Yes. Whenever you had an article in the Pittsburgh Carrier, somebody you had lost founds writing in to defend the mess. But let's talk about what this sister said. It says, dear sir, I do trust your paper will be good enough to print this letter, as I have no other means of voicing my opinion to Miss Dakota Stanton. She says, I am not a Muslim myself. However, I have studied the Muslim religion for the past 4 years. I have discussed it with both Eastern Muslims and the followers of Elijah Muhammad. I learned that both sects differ on minor points, but basically their teachings are the same. Instead of Miss Stanton bringing a suit against Muhammad and his followers, I think both Orthodox Muslims and Elijah Muhammad should file suit against Miss Stanton for whoever misrepresents the Islamic faith more than she. For my knowledge of that religion, the women are to be modest and dressed accordingly. I believe that Liz Claiborne and Marilyn Monroe dress more decently than that hip swinger called Stanton. Yes. This is a lost firm. Going hard for the message. Yes, sir. After she heard this jazz musician talk about talking about you gonna take a suit on him, she called her that old hip swing, Miss Stanton. She said Liz Claiborne and Marilyn Monroe, and they was harlots, whores. But she said that they dress more better than this Miss Stanton. So she goes on. She says, at one time, I was an ardent Stanton fan and frequented the night spots where she appeared. I witnessed the clinging gowns, the dense makeup, and the suggestive gestures, all weapons with which she centered to male patrons. Is this proper behavior for a holier-than-thou Muslim? I hardly think so. More on fire for the messenger than these cream puff Muslims with this hypocrite Louis Farrakhan. I heard old Louis. They had some meeting. Some brother getting a charge. And this shows this hypocrite. They ain't even found out whether the brother did it or not. But they putting him on blast for a charge. So we heard this hypocrite. And just by listening to him, I can tell Allah got that hypocrite in the flame. The messenger said that the worst fear for a hypocrite is for them to be found out as the liars that they are.
Yes, sir.
So we, the followers of the messenger, since that hypocrite is in the flame, we want to pour kerosene on top of his head. That's how we feel about that hypocrite.
Yes, sir.
We don't care nothing about him.
No, sir.
We want to help that fire
Yes, sir.
that Allah got on that hypocrite. So if we see a bucket of gasoline or a bucket of kerosene, we choosing the kerosene to pour on top of this hypocrite's head.
Yes, sir.
It's a shame to have so many Muslims think it's wrong to defend the messenger.
Yes, sir.
When the messenger, all this that we know, whether you are Muslim or not, came from the messenger.
That's right.
The messenger was the one. When the white man was trying to get our women to be indecent, it was the messenger who said long garments,
Yes.
no makeup, the black woman's natural beauty. The messenger didn't have FOI going out there criticizing the black woman. The messenger said, you don't teach. He said, your job is just to offer them the truth. So the messenger taught us, when we go out as FOI, all we do, Muhammad speaks. Because when this hypocrite is talking against the FOI, he really talking against the messenger.
Yes.
He really saying the messenger was a thug. Because the messenger could have stopped anything this hypocrite talking about going on. The messenger ain't never told you what the messenger told us. He said, don't leave the temple for imperfection.
Right.
Don't leave the temple. We got brothers who got imperfections. You got brothers who do things they ain't supposed to do. Let's just talk real.
Yes.
You got Muslims who make mistakes.
Yes.
You got Muslims who do it on purpose. But all that don't change the fact that God came
Yes.
in the person of Master Farad Muhammad and raised a messenger for the black man. The Nation of Islam under the messenger is the best we gonna ever get.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what that hypocrite said. Them brothers wasn't thugs. Them brothers was giving life and limb for us,
Yes.
for the messenger, for their religion. We standing on their shoulders.
That's right.
And this hypocrite gonna say they was thugs. All that we have today. Because I go to the store a lot of times in my uniform. And this is why I don't care nothing about that hypocrite. I only been a Muslim since 2006. I ain't done nothing to get all the respect that I know that I get just for being a Muslim. Just for seeing black people seeing me in this uniform. And they can identify me with the message. They all praise it too. They automatically give me respect for what he did.
Yes, sir.
And then this hypocrite, that's why if I pour kerosene on that old senile hypocrite Louis Farrakhan to listen to how he sneak this in the message, making it to where a Muslim think you a thug because you will physically fight for the message. You ain't no thug. The messenger said, fight for your nation. Fight for your own. That's what he taught us to do. Ain't nothing wrong with fighting. Whether you have to in my clothes, if you gotta physically fight for the messenger, ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Fight for your nation. Fight for your own.
Yes, sir.
I say it every week because I want it to be known how sincere we are. When you look at the teachers of the messenger and you study the history, the messenger didn't get what he got because he wasn't a fighter. The messenger was our prime example.
Yes.
When you look at his history, all he did was fight.
Yes.
He had to fight his sons. He had to fight his grandson. He had to fight the national representative. He had to continuously fight to keep the Nation of Islam on track.
Yes, sir.
The messenger was chosen by Allah. The messenger taught us in my clothes. He said that when Master Farad Muhammad came, He said he had many ministers. So he said one day, he said, I want y'all to choose who you think that my supreme minister should be. This God in person. This was the man who was born to save the black man. So Master Farad Muhammad, he let everybody choose. Because he, freedom, justice, and equality, you choose who you think should be my supreme minister. Everybody chose. So Master Farad Muhammad said, he said, now I'm going to choose. He said, I choose you, Elijah Kareem. He was the one who Master Farad Muhammad chose to lead the black man. And one of the things that was beautiful about the messenger, he never condemned us. When you listen to the messenger tell them captains in that laborers meeting, he said, you got to expect a brother to be a little disobedient. He said, even if this brother do what he ain't supposed, you still ain't better than him. Right. That was the message. He made sure you treat this brother right. He told the ministers, he said, all of us are the same. He said, just because I give you something to do, he said, that don't make you better. He said, you still ain't no better than the least Muslim. All are believers. He said, I got orders just like I give you orders. We all are the same. So when this hypocrite sneak this and anything, even when you talk about Muslims then, when you try to put them all in the same bad path, you trying to diss the messenger. Yes. That's why the messenger taught us. He said a hypocrite is worse than an enemy death. He said after 1 year of hypocrisy, he said the hypocrite is classified with the enemy death. So that hypocrite Louis Farrakhan, he is an enemy of Allah. Yes, sir. He an enemy of the messenger. And we don't trust nothing that hypocrites say. Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I'll leave you as I came in the nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent and merciful. So, Master's day of judgment in which we now live, thee alone do we serve, and thee alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served worth to praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
What the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.